Welcome to our Facebook Live event. We are streaming to YouTube, and in just a moment, when I manage to get Instagram going, we are streaming to Instagram. There we go. So welcome, teachers, to our Facebook Live, coming to you from the British Council Teaching English. My name is Karen, and today we are joined by Fatiha, and we are talking all about... What are we talking about, Fatiha?
It's about how to manage noisy classrooms and maybe large classrooms.
Oh, fantastic topic. So, Fatiha, tell us just a little bit about where you are, what you do, and how you got into... Oh, that's a lot of questions. We'll start with where are you and what do you do?
Right, I'm online from Indonesia, to be exact, in Cimahi, West Java. And I'm a teacher, but now I teach online most of the time. So I have my own language course focusing on exam prep, young learners, and also teaching conversation for adults. So that's what I'm
Wow.
doing currently.
Oh, that sounds very busy. And how did you get interested in noisy classrooms?
That's actually pretty personal questions. So I had one class that's very noisy. Noisy here is that the student is screaming, and also
Oh,
the student talks a lot. So two issues here: screaming and talks a lot. That makes me headache, and also my lesson plans cannot run smoothly. So then I consult to my mentor, and then I tried, but it failed, and then I tried again. I consult to a Google, and then finally I can find about volume rules and traffic light inspiration, and also like the volume of a van. It gets like getting bigger and smaller, and it actually works in that kids and teenager classroom. So yeah,
oh, that's fun. Yes, because
that's
I think
one.
we'll come to that, the traffic light, in a minute, because you gave a webinar last week about noisy classrooms and demonstrated some fantastic practical examples. So first of all, I just want to say hello to teachers who are watching. We are talking about managing a noisy classroom. So welcome, everybody. We have lots of people. We have Miranda from Argentina on Instagram and Danigul from Azerbaijan on Instagram, Nestle from Turkey. Welcome, welcome. And on Facebook, we have, here we have Omar. Welcome. And Rachna says, cheers, Fatiha. And
Thank you so much.
Deepti from Sri Lanka, Sadia from Pakistan. We've got teachers from all over the place. And we've also welcome from YouTube as well. So, we have a comment here actually from, what do you think of this? Mehdi. My solution is never smile before December. After that, things will be easy. I've heard this before. My brother told me this when I very first started teaching, and it's a kind of sort of teacher mantra in some teacher training places to say, don't smile before Christmas. What do you think of that? Does it help with a noisy classroom or not?
I think no. I guess, in my opinion, smiling keeps. I mean, I've tried about like being very, what is it, disciplined, and being very, I would say, scream at them back. It doesn't work. So it's better to just manage them, and like we respect their what do they want in the class. Like we talk about it and we share our expectation actually. Like what is our expectation to them, so they know, and then they will follow. Like by that, by talking and sharing the expectation, especially with teenagers, I guess that works. So actually we can have like a very nice days even before Christmas, even before the holiday, in my opinion.
Thank
So
you
I
so
think that's
much,
it.
Fatiha. Yeah. So you mentioned there about setting expectations. So teachers watching, have you got a noisy classroom? How do you manage it? Share your tips in the comments with us. So Fatiha, you mentioned there a little bit about setting expectations. What do you do? How do you do that in terms of
All
noise
right.
levels?
Okay, so I was do it in the beginning of the class. Can be in the beginning of the class or can be in the beginning of the year. Like me in Indonesia, it's June because we have it June until June, so 1 year, 2 semesters. Yeah, and I set expectation about my like especially with young learners to respect me. Respect here meant to listen to me and also pay attention to me and do the tasks that I want. Because with young learners, they are easily distracted with toys, and for teenagers, they're easily distracted with phone. So my experience was like I teach not a school before, but like language course, a big language course, and they can bring their phones, and it's pretty hard to manage to keep them to keep their phone away, right? So that's the
Mm-hmm.
ways, the things that I uh, would like to set for them. But then I also managed to build discussion. Then that's my expectation to you. What about your expectation to me? Many of them say about like, please give us some games. Do not have boring lessons. Okay, so if you want to have like good games, like a good learning experience, you follow my rules, and also I will follow your rules. Something like that. So
Well,
about it.
I love two aspects of what you said just there. One, the first one was, what does it mean? So when you say respect, it's really useful, like you say, to define what that means so that the students understand that this is what it means, listening and the noise levels. I want to share, and the second one was around, it's also what you want, like asking them what they expect from you. That shows
Mhm.
it's like a two-way thing. That's fantastic. I just want to share a couple of comments. We had one from Instagram that says, there is another mantra. This is from Komnia. There's another mantra. Do not shout, whisper. They will be quiet and enjoy the silence. So using like different levels of voices. I think you talked about that in your webinar as
Right.
well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you call the different voices?
Right. So I call it traffic light, everyone. So here I have like balls. Red symbolize it's like because red in traffic light meaning stop. So it means like it's quiet voice. And then yellow, it we need to prepare, right? Then it means like it's a higher voice in a way that perhaps you need to discuss with your friend, but please do not scream when you talk with your friends, because there was my student screaming while I'm talking to difference, right? So then yellow for that. And for green, it's a green mean like you basically green is like that you try to walk, or I mean like you can drive your car again. So it means that it's very the biggest voice, especially I call it teacher's voice for my student whenever they need to respond to my what is it, my question, because some students are shy, but some noisy students are very loud, so I want to manage that you just speak with the right teacher's voice. So and also like yeah, that one about it. And also in Asia, I guess if they're very noisy, and then this is the trick, I don't know whether it works or not with you guys. We try to be quiet for 10 minutes or like 5 minutes, and they will be like starting to be aware that okay, the teachers is like the teachers ask us to be quiet. Shh. And then they try to be quiet, and it works. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
great.
asking them. Yeah.
Yeah, and like giving, I like that part where you said, use a teacher voice. I'm sure they love that. I just wanted to show, if you don't have balls, you can also use like pens, red, green, and oops, that's a bit different color, yellow, or orange, if and hold the pen up, or pieces of paper. That's such a great activity, Fatiha. There's a couple more comments here. This is one from Neslik on Instagram saying that, to me, silence is the key. When there's a bit of noise, I start to be silent. Then the class starts to be silent. So I think you mentioned that as well. Then there was one here. Oh, there's so many comments. Let me just go back and see if I can find it. It's here from, it was about using, here. This one is from Sajeda. I use a voice barometer. So I'm not sure if that's
Right.
something online. I think you used an online thing as well. Do you have a non-paper version of how you can signal, or how do you use this? And Sajida, tell us what do you mean? How do you use a voice barometer?
You mean voice barometer is like noise monitor, or
I
here
think
is
so.
like yeah, I use it like buoyancy ball, like you can share it on the screen, especially with like if you have interactive whiteboard with you in the class. If not, actually there are some ways of how to do it. First is that you can assign someone to be your police, to be your assistant, to be your volume assistant, or you can have, other than traffic light, you can use like the analogy of a van. You know that a van is that if it is three, it's very is very, what is it, is very fast. Let's say it's the three button is very fast, or the two is getting slower and one getting slower again, so something like that.
Fantastic. Great practical examples. There's some others here. Here's one from Rachna saying, I give them responsibility while they do group work and engaging tasks to keep them busy. This reduces the noise levels while I'm writing the learning objectives on the lesson on the board. So giving groups like tasks or roles to do. Does that work for you?
Right. So I think I also talked this on the webinar about differentiated learning, so that we
Mm-hmm.
need to level our questions to our student, whether it's very higher order thinking skills or lower order thinking skills, HOTS or LOW, LOTS. So something like that. In a way, because some students can do evaluation, but some students can just memorize or like mention something. And I wonder about like you start making pair in the beginning of your lesson when you write learning goals. In my opinion, it's better for you to arrange your seating, arrange like seating arrangement before like pair working. I think pair work will be best when assigning what is it, tasks, something like that.
Great, that's great. So for teachers who are just joining us, we are talking to Fatiha about managing a noisy classroom, and she's giving us lots of fantastic practical ideas. So please share your ideas for managing a noisy classroom. Here's another one from. This one is from Omar. I change students' sitting positions, those at the back to sit at the front, and avoid sitting near chatty friends. So that's around, sort of changing groupings around noisy class, if the classroom is noisy. Because I know from my classes that some of the ones at the back think, oh, maybe I'll just, I can do my own thing. What do you think of that, Fatiha?
Okay, so I also talk about that seating arrangement. So I assume that this sitting arrangement was like a row, I guess. So there is someone in the front and in the back. Well, I suggest maybe you can try grouping seating arrangement in a way that you group the noisy student with the quieter or more reserved student, instead of
Mm-hmm.
seating the, what is it, someone that is very noisy in the back, because if they gather they will make noises as well. So even though they're in the back, I have this teenager student, they're very noisy. One class, actually there are only five noisy students, and sitting in the back, no matter in the back or in the front, they made voices. So I guess I always try to arrange the seating then before the class, to group them instead of a row line, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I sometimes like walk towards the back, and I know as soon as I move towards some of the noisier ones, they start to settle down a bit. So it also helps me get my 10,000 steps in every day walking around the
Oh
classroom.
yeah, that also, yeah, monitoring. I think you mentioned about monitoring. Yeah,
Hmm.
monitoring also very good in noisy classroom, especially we need to be very paying attention to this noisier students, or you can always assign your police student to monitor something like that.
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
Well, we've got a comment really from Hanifa on Instagram that says, "Make them busy with group work really works for me." So I guess that's the concept of being busy helps keep them focused on task. I know that for me, when I'm doing group work in class, like I did this week, um, when I feel the noise level starting to increase, it's a signal to me to move on to the next part of the lesson. I'm just going to show this comment here from Najwa. My pupils adore talking. Yeah, so do mine. But I managed to deal with that with some rituals. Class, yes, yes, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, 1, 2, eyes on you. These rituals are really helpful in setting the silence back. I also use my silence. I keep looking at them silently for a while. They automatically look back to me with sorry on their lips, and this works really well. I'm just going to bring up another comment that I saw. I wonder if I've got it here. Yeah, this one that's connected from Marie. Being strict in establishing routine at the start of the school year is very important, as you mentioned, Fatiha. I usually use bells to manage noise levels, but now my eyes will suffice to silence them. The teacher look. So, Fatiha,
Right.
yeah, right?
I feel
You also talked
relatable.
about that. Yeah, very relatable. Even my husband went, "Oh, I recognize that look." I've used it with him as well. So that's
Right.
connected to, how do you do the sort of, you have noise and then you want to move on to the next bit to like get the attention to sort of settle down and then move to another task. Like Marie was talking about using her eyes, and the other person was talking about, Najwa was talking about using some sort of ritual routines, call and response.
Yeah, so it called attention getters, right? So that it's also a routine is very, what is it? It's very essential for young learners, especially because young learners learn from their routine. They know that what I expect from this class, what my tutor gonna say after this is actually from young learners. They learn it from expectation. So like if you have a spatial attention getter, like eyes on me, eyes on you, like clap
Mm-hmm.
one, clap two, that's very good. Another thing that I can add is about this one, what is it, waterfall, shh, something
I
like that.
love that one. I love that one. Waterfall. Shh. I use one that's like
Yes.
hush, hush, that sometimes
You can
works.
also
Yeah.
use something like that.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of others that teachers are mentioning about around that same attention gathers. From Iram, I start singing a poem titled Noisy Birds. When the students hear it, they realize that they're making noise. They immediately become quiet and then behave seriously. So that's like singing is very calming and gentle, isn't it? It's a
Right,
nice.
singing. Actually, to be really honest, I haven't tried songs quite much on my classroom. So I don't know how this effect would be in noisy classroom. But I guess for like, some students are very chatty in a way, they like to sing a song. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
when they start to be introducing by songs, they will start like, oh, this is quiet song, this is hello songs. But I have
Yeah.
routine with hello and goodbye songs, but to make them quiet songs is not in my agenda yet.
We've got a comment here from Hamzis on Instagram who's saying one of the methods I use is to keep their hands full. Make them busy with work either on the screen or make them write the names of the other noise. So that's for an online class, keeping the hands busy and keeping focused, and maybe in a face-to-face class, getting them to do something, writing something, or I use mini whiteboards quite a lot, and that helps them focus a little bit as well. Oh, so many comments coming through. Yes, here's one from Mukesh. I find students chatting and talking beyond topic. I assign a task with a time limit and make them report how fast an individual students by counting 1, 2, 3, 4. I've sometimes done that with like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But Fatiha, now I found in my classes that sometimes I do some of those attention grabbers, or I do the like noise calming down, noise meters. But after like 1 or 2 months, they get bored of that and they start ignoring it.
Right. Yeah. That's the teacher problem.
Yeah. Any advice?
So about the last comment that you showed, it's about using timer. Yeah, timer is very, what is it, powerful weapon. I guess weapon in our classroom, because I don't know, with they're very aware of how what is it, how long they need to finish the tasks, and also our expectation basically. So I always use timer basically for group works and project, because sometimes they like to, what is it, they like, especially with noisy students, they like to chat with group works, and they want to make it very long, but actually we need to move on, right? So
yeah,
that's the
absolutely.
first. And the advice about getting bored of teenagers, basically, especially with teenagers and young learners, they also love variety, but don't do it too much as well, because they are also, what is it, afraid of like, oh, what is the teacher is going to do next, because the routine is established, and then when we introduce something different, they might like, oh, afraid or nervous, I would say. So if we start to introduce something new, we need to like establish like, oh, this is something new, like introduce, and how fun it is. And also about the things that don't work, I would say I have shared on my webinar about reminding about behaviors. We as a teacher, we need to remind a lot, like every day, like it's just
Yeah,
part of our job that we need to
it's not
remind and
just at the
remind and
beginning of
remind.
it's not just at the beginning of the course or the term, is it? You know, you need to do it constantly throughout.
Consistent is the key here.
That's the key.
Consistency.
Routines. Yeah, great
Mhm.
advice. Here's a comment from Facebook. This is Arwa. I made songs by myself according to the new words in the lesson. That's nice. That's a great,
Why nice? Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, for that one, yeah.
There's another one here. This one's from YouTube. Sometimes giving them a chance to raise their voice for a few seconds through an icebreaker game will let them relieve the pressure. Then students tend to settle. That I'm going to use that. Like do a bit of at the beginning, like rah, get out all the noise, because sometimes, like I know for my students, they've come from something that has just happened in the break or the classroom, and they all or the previous class, and they all really need to talk about it for a minute, and then they can settle down. What do you think of that?
Wow, that's nice idea though. Like, yeah, ice breaking is the moment that we can actually establish expectation. It's our fun time, and you can just explore yourself. You can scream here, you can like do whatever you want. I guess that's what I did with my noisy classroom as well. Especially here in Indonesia, the what is it? The study time is pretty long. So every teacher
Is it
needs
how long is
ice.
it?
It's at from 7 to 3, so it's like around 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 8
Wow.
hours. So it's like working, right?
Mm-hmm.
7 hours for young learners, 7 hours for young learners, 8 hours for
Wow,
secondary.
that's a
So
lot.
that's tough, right?
Mm.
So especially with one teacher, they always provide ice breaking game in the beginning or at the end. That's always in our lesson plan,
Mm-hmm.
because here is pretty long. So I guess that's a very good, what is it, good idea,
Yeah, it's lovely.
especially
It's
in
a
Indonesian
lovely idea.
context.
Yeah. I think Isfan agrees the best idea to begin our class. I am definitely going to take that for my next lessons.
Mhm.
So, Fatiha, there's another question that we had from the webinar, and it was around so you've got a classroom and maybe it's a bit noisy and there's different types of noises that can come with that. What about the teachers in the neighboring classes or even a parent sort of expectations? How do you manage that? Like I sometimes work. So I had a bit of a noisy class yesterday and the day before, because they were all very interested in the topic and they were asking questions and they were, very engaged in it and sometimes going a bit off topic. But I was worrying about the next class and if we were disturbing them or not, or if somebody was going to come in and think, oh, this is very chaotic noise. Is everything okay?
Okay, can you hear me? Because
Yes.
okay, the
Yes.
neighboring,
It
the
sounds like
conscious
you've got somebody.
neighboring.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got somebody who wants to join our live with lots of things to say next to you.
Sorry, everyone, my baby is here,
Yeah,
but she
that's okay.
needs to
Look,
be
she's
under
got
camera.
she's got lots to say.
Right.
Sorry, Fatiha, go on. Yes, about neighboring classes.
Wait, I'm afraid that my signal actually, because like I heard like I
No, it's
think
all
it's
good.
getting it's so good. Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
So about the neighboring, I had also some experiences about that because our classes is pretty close and it's actually just like one big class separated into two. So what I did actually, yeah, sometimes it happens, right? And
Yeah, it does.
what is it? What I did actually that I talked to the teachers, to my colleagues instead of to the what is it? Instead of to the students. So I like talk to the colleagues. I will be doing this with my students. I'm sorry if I have very loud voice, but if it is really disturbing your class, I will do something. So basically I asked them to what is it, if it is very noisy, so I have like set of like level of what is it, rule volume rules breaker. So if it is a very dangerous, I would assign them to that class. You need to say sorry to
Okay.
that class. Can you go to that class and see and be student there for a while and go back here? And it's like for teenagers that threats, I would say threats, but actually consequence. That consequence is pretty make them afraid and nervous because they don't like to get to know to new people or they don't easily adapt. So that usually works
That's
in my
fantastic. So we've got so much wonderful advice there, Fatiha. I'm just going to finish on this comment here from Mohammed, who says we need more of these discussions in the future. Well, Mohammed, don't worry. We have lots and lots and lots of discussions, questions and answer sessions. We have a lot of webinars coming up. So keep an eye on our social media pages. Have a look on our website to find out the next webinars. And on our Facebook page, you will see under events all the live discussions coming up, which you can join on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So Fatiha, it sounds like your daughter needs you a little bit, and we have suddenly come to the end of our time. Thank you so much for joining us. Teachers, thank you so much for all of your excellent ideas and suggestions. Keep the conversation going in the chat, and we will see you all very, very soon. Thank you, Fatiha.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Bye, everyone.